Hello there. Thanks a lot for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and today it's the biggest show of stars for 1960 with the new exciting decade just beginning. And sure enough, another star-studded package tour from Super Productions. 10 big musicians plus an MC and an all-black lineup playing in the Deep South. Lots of crossover hits on here as well though, and in fact the poster features a stunning 8 members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Once again, credit Globe Posters in Baltimore for another beautiful design. You've got this day-glow orange and yellow, along with a pretty unusual blue color. You could call it aqua, I like to call it teal. It really captures the eye nicely. But with this poster, the elephant in the room is the Segregation line up there in the venue box, so let's go ahead and get right to that. As I've explained in other blogs, the entire color portion you see was printed by the thousands before the tour started, and then for each stop on the tour, certain number, a few dozen or whatever, a couple dozen, maybe a couple of hundred, were printed in with just that stop's information up there in the white box. So let's take a good look at this one. The Lauderdale County Coliseum in Florence, Alabama, in typical blue globe printing style up there. Wednesday, April 27th, again 1960, and then the line of the poster. Hold your breath. 2 shows, white 7:30 p.m. and colored 9:30 p.m. Boy, in the poster hobby that's called a seg line for short, and this is the more dramatic of the 2 scenarios that can be involved with concert poster seg lines. Sometimes they would just say different sections, but both races were admitted. Here, this is different shows, so that's just really chilling. Well, always to see on a vintage concert poster. But Florence, Alabama, they were definitely a hotbed for the civil rights movement. In fact, that's really exemplified by this picture I have for Florence from the 1950s, so a few years before the concert poster. But take a look at that. Boy, see that sign up on the top there? We wash for white people only. So getting back to the music now, it says advance admission $2 and at the door $2.50, tax included. And then in small print they give you 8 ticket locations, and they're really fun. They encompass newsstands, barbershops, grocery stores, cafes, barbecue joints, pharmacies, and of course, record shops. That's so much fun on these old posters. And by the way, all those locations were not just in Florence, but for a couple of nearby towns as well. So that's the venue box, with the all-new information being stripped in, of course, on every stop along the tour. But it sort of makes you wonder, how many other shows were also segregated on this tour. Well, I do have a picture of this poster from one other city, and it does not have that information. This is 2.5 weeks later, and as you can see, it's the full color poster. And then they're up top, rather simple venue box, just for Wichita, Kansas. So that takes us to the permanent color portion of the poster, which would pretty much stay constant throughout the entire tour, unless a musician dropped out or one was added. In the upper left-hand corner, no surprise, GAC, meaning General Artists Corporation, and Super Productions presents the biggest show of stars for 60, Spring Edition. Wonderful Caravan tours done by those folks from about 1957 to 1967. So, from the top there, from the left, starting with 6 straight members, by the way, of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, wow. And interestingly on this poster, notice how almost everybody is smiling. I count a dozen smiling faces on here, and 4 of those who are not are singing. That would be the Imperials under Little Anthony. Only Sammy Turner in the lower right is playing it cool. But in the upper left there you do have Lloyd Price, and boy was he coming off an amazing year in 1959. 3 #1 R&B hits, and all 3 went top 5 pop as well. Stagger Lee, Personality, and I'm Gonna Get Married. Now his current single was Lady Luck, and it went top 5 R&B, and there it is by his picture on the poster. Then you've got the Coasters, front row center, the only one with a starburst around them. They had a huge 59 as well. Heck, I might as well come in a little closer on that row there. Along Came Jones, is on the poster here. That was the middle of 3 top 10 pop singles they had in '59. And then you've got Clyde McPhatter. He started, of course, with the Drifters, and the song title here is Think Me a Kiss, which barely caused a ripple. Then the second row, in teal, you've got Bo Diddley and the song Roadrunner, and there's Bo with his distinctive glasses, guitar, and checkered jacket. His current single and top 20 R&B hit was indeed Roadrunner. And then you've got All in Person in that black banner in the center. And then LaVern Baker, looking great with that full-length picture of her. But you know, it's kind of funny, Shake a Hand puzzled me at first, because, you know, that was a monster hit for Faye Adams the previous decade, who's even Faye's called the Shake a Hand Girl. Whereas LaVern, she's more known as the, you know, Tweedledee or Jim Dandy Girl. But, you know, her version of Shake a Hand was her current single, but it only went to number 13 on the R&B charts, which is still respectable. Then you've got little Anthony and the Imperials. Anthony not old enough to buy a drink yet at age 20. But the song title there is Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Pop. Did I say bop or pop? You know what I meant, bop. The number 14 R&B hit. And then you've got Jimmy Reed. Wow. In fact, let me make sure I get up here and get these guys in the picture here. Jimmy Reed, the legendary bluesman. And boy, so was his current single, Baby What You Want Me to Do. Not only top 10 R&B, but covered like mad ever since. So it's great that it's on the poster. I mean, Elvis did it in his '68 comeback special, and he really did it. He didn't walk through it, he really got into it. It's magnificent. And it was covered by the Everly Brothers and Little Richard and Jerry Lee Lewis and the Byrds. Heck, even Neil Young and Crazy Horse did an 8-minute version on their Broken Arrow album. So great to see Jimmy Reed on there with that really key song title. Then you've got Jimmy Jones in that teal oval, and the contrast isn't great. Get in a little closer, but it does say Handyman on there, and that was a number, as the poster wavers here, that was a number 2 pop record, number 3 R&B, and Jimmy did write that. Most famous version, though, is probably by James Taylor, who totally rearranged it and slowed it down in the 1970s for a big hit. And then you've got Mr. Cool, Sammy Turner, I tease, of course. Paradise is on the poster. That was a number 13 R&B hit that was on the charts right now. And then way down in the lower left corner, without a song title, you got Big Joe Turner. Wow, without the word big either. Kind of, by the way, he was in no relation to Sammy Turner. But anyway, Big Joe, Mr. Shake, Rattle, and Roll's charting days were over. But boy, still, they sure buried him. I mean, he's, you know, seminal figure, just a key guy. And then let's hear it for the band. In the bottom center there, you've got Lloyd Price and his Biggest Show of Stars Orchestra. And then in the far bottom right, by my finger there, you do have Harold Cromer, the MC. And poster collectors know that down there in the bottom center margin, globe poster of Baltimore. Well, you know, the music's so fun, by this point we've forgotten about the seg line, haven't we? But that's really a key element of this poster. You've got, you know, musical history and race relations in the civil rights movement, and great music in the Deep South at the beginning of a very tumultuous and spectacular pop culture decade. So, quite a magnificent poster. Hope you enjoyed seeing it today. Thanks a lot for dropping by, and we'll see you again for something soon. Bye-bye.